and we are joined by the one and only whale capper from the funny perfect weather in California. It's funny because it's always great, and I cannot be there daily to join Whale and to stay to drink some beer together. But I think that one day we will be there. Hi, Whale. What's up, man?
Hey man, how we doing on this beautiful Friday? Great to see you again. Haven't talked since probably the Australian
Australian
Open,
Open.
right?
Yes, Australian Open. Exactly.
What have been your major takeaways of the tennis season so far?
Yeah, the clay favorites, my favorite surface, Roland Garros knocking at our doors here just 1 week and few days away, but very important tournament in Rome. Very interesting tournament, fulfilled with many upsets, with many crazy stuff happening. Osaka out, walkover. Wozniacki injured. Serena walkover. Federer walkover. Ostapenko injured. Simona got injured in the last set against Vondrusova. Nick Kyrgios did a Nick Kyrgios once again yesterday
Whew.
and got fined 20,000 euros, minus 45 points. He had to pay for his hotel. He lost all the money for the tournament. This is a crazy tournament just before the Roland Garros. What is happening, Wilder?
Man, great question. People showed up in Rome and lost their minds. I don't know. Like it's a so the tennis schedule, real quick. The tennis schedule this time of year is real tough on the players, right? Like you got back to back Madrid and Rome. These are big time tournaments worth a ton of points, worth a ton of money. They come on the tail of two other tight tournaments, and a lot of these guys played Monte Carlo. They played Barcelona. Some of them went to Munich. Some of them went to Estoril in Portugal, and now Madrid, and now Rome. I mean, this is a grind. It's for sure. It's very tough on these players to kind of stay, keep their heads together. And sure enough, they all landed in Rome, and they all lost their damn minds. It didn't
Most
help
of all,
that
curious.
it's crazy. It didn't help that there was a ton of rain early this week, and so it really compressed the schedule, and it made a very tough tournament even tougher.
Yeah,
Rome is one of
some
my
players,
favorites.
many players played two matches in one day after that rain delay in the
Yeah,
previous on Tuesday.
yeah, and for those players who weren't as good as Nadal, Nadal got a chance to. He basically was like, okay, look, like I can win these matches. I cannot be afforded the opportunity to kind of work myself into form here. I just need to get out there and take care of business and play full throttle out of the gate. And we saw it. He was able to pull it off. He broke like mad a couple matches in a row, kept his total time on court down. That was very valuable, and that absolutely gives him a huge advantage in the semifinals and finals.
Baggled
Boom,
Basilashvili, baggled
boom,
Jeremy
boom,
Shardy, three
boom,
baggled,
boom.
boom.
Yes,
He's
he's
on the roll, baby.
yeah, he is just out there laying waste to these guys. It's incredible to watch it. And I talked about this with Natalie last week. It is super important for him to pick up a title before we get to Roland Garros. He has not won a single title on clay this season, which is huge. He has never won Roland Garros with at least making a final on before getting there,
Absolutely.
and he has not made a final on clay so far this season, which is wild. That puts an enormous amount of pressure on him tomorrow to beat Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Yeah,
Tsitsipas
by
got a
the
day
way,
off
I
today
wanted
because
to ask you that. I
Federer.
wanted to ask you. Tsitsipas
Yeah,
just won, just beat him in Madrid a few weeks ago.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that is a lot of pressure for Nadal. Yes, but
yeah. One
he
week
seems to
ago.
be on
1 week
fire.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah, 1 week ago.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is the best betting opportunity you're going to see in tennis all week is Nadal tomorrow and taking revenge on Tsitsipas. Okay, and this is why I love this angle. So Tsitsipas got the day off today because Federer pulled out. Okay, that obviously that gives Tsitsipas a little extra rest. People are over counting that. They are taking way more account of that than they ought to. What you really and they look at last week's result. Nadal lost to Tsitsipas. Nadal played very poorly in that match. I don't think Tsitsipas won that match as well as Nadal lost it. And Nadal is now on a slower surface in Rome than they had in Madrid. Lower elevation, serve matters less. He has the game. He has the tools to absolutely paddle Tsitsipas, make him pay, take some revenge. I love Nadal 2-0 in this look. I love his money line. I think that's depressed. I think it should be more like around -600. I'm seeing -385 right now. That makes for a great money line parlay leg or an ACCA for you folks in Rome. That's a great ACCA leg. I personally think Nadal gets it done in style tomorrow, punches his first clay final of the season, which is insane to say out loud. But he's gonna end up in the finals here, and he probably wins this title. I think. I think it's very important for his confidence to get a championship before he heads to Roland Garros. Otherwise, everybody in that tournament's going to be like, maybe I can get this guy. Maybe this is the year I can finally get this guy. If you're Nadal, you're not seeded first. Djokovic is going to be seeded first. You haven't won a title.
Absolutely.
That's a freaking problem. Like you do not want to give the field the mental, space. You don't want to give them space in your head, man. Do not give them that space. Make them
bagel
fear
them
you.
all. Bagel them all.
Exactly. Bagel. The double bagel is in play tomorrow.
Listen, what is very strange here about the odds for this match? Very, very strange. You mentioned 2-0, 1.71 with Unibet, 1.66 with the Bet 365. What is very strange?
Terrible
that
prices.
One week ago in Rome, Tsitsipas was priced at 6.3. Now Tsitsipas is priced at 4.3. So you mentioned the difference on the surface, which actually is in favor of Nadal in Rome. And the odds are shorter for Tsitsipas than they were 1 week ago in Madrid. This is crazy. Yeah. So let's take him from today, as you say, 1.71 to 0 for Nadal, as you said.
This is a classic. Market has overreacted incredibly here. It's just a gross overreaction. Ride Nadal as long as you'll get a favorable price on him. I like him to win Rome.
Absolutely. Okay, let's go on to the women's. Your favorite player,
real
Kiki
quick before
Bertens,
moving off of the men's. Do you have a take on Del Potro Djokovic? Do you think Del Potro can compete? He looks damn good this week.
I wanted to ask you that at the end of our segment.
I kind of think
this
he does.
Why I wanted to let the good stuff for the end.
If anyone's watching and they want to get a little bit of tennis action in today, I don't want them to miss the start of the match because I think it's going to start pretty soon. I kind of like Del Potro to compete. I like +5 is at evens right now. That's a very favorable price. I think Del Potro could absolutely steal the first set. I think he could take a set in this one. I don't think that that this is pricing his chances very fairly. Surely Djokovic is likely to advance, and I don't know that I would advocate backing Del Potro to win outright. I mean, if you're feeling lucky, if you're feeling frisky on a Friday and you want to get a little crazy, there's value in his money line. But I love +5 at +100. This has every making of a 6-4, 4-6, 6-3 kind of a match. I don't think that Del Potro is going to be an easy out at all.
Let's do +4.5 at +138 with the Unibet or in European odds.
I like that too.
Plus 2.38. This is amazing.
Like
you can bet minus, how is +1 point? No. This is I was thinking for Del Potro to take a set from Djokovic there. Money line right now at +600, 7.0 in European odds. Also over 20.5 games in the match at 1.8. Very, very good odds indeed also there. So -115, I think that in US odds. Yeah, I think that it will be an interesting match. Del Potro is back and kicking before
He's fresh.
the Roland Garros.
Yeah. Del Potro is fresh. There's not a ton of tape on how he is. There's not a lot of game tape for Djokovic to really know and understand and study his clay approach right now. And Djokovic just went to the finals, won the finals in Madrid. He has had to play, forced himself to have to play harder than he would have liked to this point in this tournament. So he's burned a little extra gas than he would have liked. There's a lot of things that this Italian crowd, they love
Crazy, man.
I mean, they are going to be rocking tonight for Juan Martín. Love his chances to be competitive in this one, and I got some action sprayed all across the handicap and totals. You laid out all those prices. I like them all. Pick your favorite flavor and enjoy the match.
Yeah, because most of these players, the big ones from top 20, they will have a day off, I think, a week off next week, because we have
That's right.
ATP Geneva, ATP Lyon, WTA Nuremberg and Strasbourg, and most of the big names are out. They are preparing for Roland Garros. But exactly, we are going now to the WTA, to the women's tournament in Rome, with your favorite Kiki Bertens there. Oh man, she's great. You are talking about her for the last I don't know 2-3 weeks now, and she has one day off today because Osaka walkover. I think that would be a great match. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Do you have an pick for her to win Rome, or you didn't went there?
I didn't take it, but I wish I had. I took Kiki Bertens to win Roland Garros at about 15-1 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't know what the current price is. It's probably come down since she beat Halep pretty convincingly in the final in Madrid. That was a surprising result. I thought that was going to be a lot more competitive match, but Kiki Bertens was on that day. She had her absolute A+ game. And she is going to be a force in Roland Garros if she has any of that left. The problem with a lot of the women's tennis players is you don't see consistency last 2-3 weeks like this. And so I'm getting a little concerned that Kiki Bertens is making another run. If she wins Rome, then the likelihood that she turns around and wins Roland Garros, in my opinion, is pretty low. She will have expended a ton of fuel to pick up these two titles. Madrid is a very, very impressive and important win. Rome is a very impressive and important win. Both a lot of money, a lot of points. The idea that she then maintains that same level for another 3 weeks with a week off and then 2 weeks of Roland Garros, that's a stretch. I think she peaked this week, last week and this week. She might win this title. But I got to say, you can't sleep on Kiki Mladenovic. I don't really know where this form came from, but she is playing very, very, very well.
I'm sure that
kind of
one of the main reasons is that she has now the trainer that Osaka used to have. I forgot his name, and is with the Badgin. I don't know. I don't remember. This is that guy is her trainer for the last 10 weeks or something like that. So that is very important for us to know, because her level of tennis is unbelievable in the last 2 weeks. Sasha Bashin, I think.
That explains a lot. That explains a lot. Wow. Okay. I didn't pick that up. I didn't know that nugget. That's fascinating, and that makes me like Kiki even more. Not just this. I think Rome final, you're going to see Kiki versus Kiki, but that actually makes me circle Mladenovic for Roland Garros, because I don't want to say it as an accusation per se, but Osaka's
51 for Roland Garros. 51 for Roland Garros. 91 with Unibet. 91.
Oh my goodness. Get that and put it in your pocket ASAP. That is going to be so great to have if she can make a quarterfinal, semifinal run. That is a great number. That coach, the coach you're referring to,
Sasha
has a
Bajiner.
knack for getting the best out of the player in terms of stamina, in terms of strength. They don't burn out as often. They can last a little bit longer. They can play a 2-week tournament that's high pressure and not get run down. And if that's the Kiki Mladenovic we see in Roland Garros, she's going to be tough to beat, because that is typically why I don't like her as a in the futures market, is because she does get run down. But I saw
Yeah.
some of the Instagrams of her. She was looking ripped. She's looking strong. She's going to be a force in 2 weeks.
Dominic Thiem is next to her also, so that is a
Yeah.
nice thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some odds
Yeah.
from Roland Garros. By the way, I wanted to ask you. Yes, you mentioned Kiki Bertens. She's playing Joanna Konta tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the odds, I don't like the odds. I hate the odds. Minus 4.5 on the Asian handicap, just at even money. I was expecting more. I don't know. Vondrushova to lose against Konta today, it was a surprise for me after she
Yeah.
won the second time this year against Simona Halep. I hate to say that, but this is the truth. Mladenovic seems able to take care of business against Maria Sakkari. 7-5, 2-1 with break in the second set as we speak.
Put her away.
Go Mladenovic for sure. She will play against Karolina Pliskova. A wonderful match against Pliskova against Azarenka. You mentioned about the odds. Kiki Bertens, yes, 8.5 right now to win Roland Garros, depending. 8.5 till 11, yes.
Nice. Nice. That's a good value then. Okay, so I got a little value there. Okay, so overall, Conta plays well in Rome. She's always played relatively well here. She's not a great clay player, but for whatever reason, she's comfortable in this venue at this on this surface, specifically in Rome. I would not take any of her performance here, which has been impressive, and extrapolate it past this week at all. I would expect she's going to be a good fade price in Roland Garros if she can kind of make the final here, which isn't crazy. She could beat Kiki Bertens. I don't love that price on Kiki at all tomorrow. Even rested, Kiki's going to have her hands full with Konta here. That seems like a good overmatch. Maybe that one goes 3 sets. But I think Kiki Mladenovic is going to be your title winner here in Rome.
What do you think, Will? It's very, very weird to see what I'm seeing right now. I'm checking the odds for Roland Garros. I'm seeing Serena Williams at 10 and Naomi Osaka at 15. What is happening, really?
Those are tough. They're tough. Okay, so those big names are going to draw money. People are going to bet them based on name, based on pedigree. Osaka has won 2 slams in a row. Serena has won more slams than anyone else on tour. But I don't think either player really is a threat. I'm not worried about either one. Like if I'm holding
Osaka's game on clay is getting better and better. Osaka's games on clay.
It is, but she's still vulnerable to someone who can defend. So much of her ability to be dominant, same with Serena, is her ability to hit winners. Serena has a little better defense than Osaka, and just in terms of you're going to grade them as tennis players. But both of them rely on being able to come up with that winner when they absolutely need it. That is much tougher on clay. And it is much tougher on clay when you're playing against someone who has spectacular defense like Halep. I think an ideal draw for us is Halep gets to get a crack at Osaka and gets to get a crack at Serena, or those type of players. That's where she
I
thrives.
would love that.
And that's you'll get value betting Halep in those spots. So fingers crossed when we see the draw that we get some of those potential matchups, because I would love Halep in those spots.
Anyway, the best odds for Roland Garros from World Cup take Kiki Mladenovic at 91 right now, and you can close your bet after 2 rounds.
Unbelievable number. Unbelievable. That should be like 25 or 40 at the worst. 91? Oh my
91.
goodness.
Come on,
Oh my goodness.
put
Have
10
that in your
euros on
pocket
that.
and enjoy that quarterfinal. That is going to be you're going to be feeling great having 91-1 in your pocket when she makes the quarterfinals. That is going to be awesome. Man, love it.
Just for our friends to know, me basically when I'm betting future markets, I'm putting two bets. One that I can hedge in the quarterfinals or whatever I'm thinking, depending her next match, and one I'm going with it all the way. So depending right now,
Split.
what's in
That's great. I like that. I like that. Split your stake.
yeah,
One to
split the
cover
stake in two.
one
One
to
to
cover.
go all the
Yeah,
way.
one to take a little bit of value, and one just in case it actually makes it all the way. That's a great strategy. I love that. Love that.
Okay. Okay, well, I hope that I will see you next week. You will be on vacation. As we talked, we will preview Roland Garros next week. Future markets, we'll talk a little bit about it today, but more next week. Hopefully, you will have some good internet. I really enjoy talking with you every single time about tennis. You are the legend. Thank you, and enjoy your weekend, man.